have only 4 modules in our here tax audit, direct and indirect. And now audit for the past year. If we see, before going that, we'll share our, it is the basic thing for audit plan, but for the tax audit, this audit plan for the chartered accountant, this audit plan for any type of audit, here tax audit, others audit, but our revenue audit or tax audit, they have the separate plan, not based on that, but we know it here, that means require for audit working paper. For example, we are working in different type of audit, but tax authority also, they have the plan for tax audit. They have the criteria choosing the audit purpose. They have the specific item. They have the different types of criteria, different types of things. For example, where tax assessee, where escape some item that can be within the system. So we can see this way. One thing for understanding here, look here, few item, pop item, then you have to understand what the, for example, here saying that they are that means tax provision is taking here, look here, 8 crore 87 lakh, look here, and here, look here, the withdrawal within this report, 24 crore. So look here is the huge amount withdrawal. So that would be the cost. And also here seeing here, purchase of property plant equipment within this year, that means in the year 20, that was, look here, 41 crore 13 lakh amount payment for the equipment purpose or property plant equipment, that is a fixed asset. The 41 crore taka payment. So how auditor link with that? Cash flow, there are 3 items: operating activities, investing activities, and also financing activities. And that cash flow directed to the International Accounting Standard 7, IS 7. So also, if we go for cash flow calculation, then we have to follow 2 rules. One is direct method, another in indirect method. So what is the direct method? Direct method is that in operating activity, if we accumulated all received, all payment for the operation purpose, that figure summarize operating activity. But if we start from the balance of profit and loss account, so if we start from that balance, look here, 1, that 18, here, 1, 2, 3, 18 crore. If we start from that figure, that would be the indirect method. Direct method is start from the income. Look here. So another is the direct method. It is the indirect method. Start from the income and all adjustment taking, so total operating activity. Look here, here I am saying that investing activities, here equipment, 41 crore disbursement, this is the minus figure. So how it will interrelated with the financial statement? That amount, if we see the property plant statement, if we go the statement, equipment, look, it is the addition during the year, here 3 crore 74 lakh. This is the statement interrelated with that payment. So their payment that and that figure is not the equivalent. So this is the audit point of view. So why that difference is? Look here, here 3 crore 74 lakh addition during the year for the fixed asset. So that amount have to pay, that amount goes from the cash flow. Look, but here 41 crore. So this is the audit point of view. Authority will see that they will interrelated with each and every point. So if mismatch, So there is some gozamil or wrong information for inflated the financial statement, and that payment can be accurate, but this is not the accurate one for balancing the put is here. So this is the point. This DCT can ask. Yes, sir.
স্যার অ্যাসেট শিডিউলটা স্যার আবার একটু দেখাবেন প্লিজ।
This is the opening balance and for the addition during the year. So that would be that figure, including addition during either and that payment for the addition of that period. So that amount should be same. That the withdraw, this withdrawn amount, look here, huge withdrawn, 24 crore or 25 crore taka withdrawal. So that withdrawal how happened? DCT will ask the SSC, and that withdrawal through the proper channel, through the check, and that amount goes from the bank account to bank account. All have to submit to the DCT if asked. 100 crore taka paid as the dividend as a financial statement as well as in balance sheet, and how you will audit it. We know that there are the rules. If you pay dividend to an individual, that you have to deduct 10% tax, and if you pay dividend to company, any company, then you have to deduct 20% of tax. So our asking thing is that show the challan, how much you deduct each and every person or companies. So if they give the real challan, so it is okay. But if do not able to pay, submit the challan, so that would not be the accurate one. Okay. So DCT also see that item also, etc. And also that type of financial statement. The real thing is that type of statement now can be less. C Institute introduced different steps item. One is identify auditor. Identify auditor means who is the auditor of one company. They are saying that, look here, if you here put any company's name, is they're not taking the data, any company's name here, at all company within the system, and you just search it, who is the auditor of that company in which year. Put auditor also from here, and also here we have the different types. Also ICB has another module for the verification of audit report, and also here have the professional. Here we have the professional few item. Here is audit practice manual, dummy working paper, and difference not only for tax audit, all audit within this. What we are saying, lastly, NBR is saying that NBR is cross check wealth statement of deducting tax evasion. So this is also news for that here, saying that information exchange between VAT and tax wings in line with that, and risk management strategy, and as compared to the company's difference thing. Also it is the ADB project also. So this is going happening, and also here few days ago also another news comes. There's 57,000 companies come on the tax net is the expectation, and through the documentation verification system that introduced Institute of Chartered Accountant of Bangladesh. Also at this moment, tax authority agreement with the MU with the ICB, as well as going for the Security Exchange Commission. VAT authority also going for MU with that system, and within the system verification code will come, and report would be genuine or not, they can be understood. So this way, and also we know that when we tax returns submit, there are few items for determine the we have to determine the residual status. We have to determine the tax, and we have to detect the basics accuracy. We have to keep ready as an SSC. We have to keep ready all document. We have to put the all disclosure. We have to put and all income and also the verification also. In near future, our e-verification of TIN will come. And also, so there are different types of, and for the audit purpose, we are as an accountant or chartered accountant, we are using that type of model for audit. That is where showing the it is the scope of audit, our as per the auditing standard, your auditor responsibility. Here specific documentation, how we will work it, everything is here, purpose, nature, all thing and objective of that documentation, and how it is our measure timing, first identifying characteristic of item, and then we who will do it, and that type of instruction we have as an auditor. So we know the need the description, cross reference, etc. So and we all are the FCTV, where we know you are the also the part of FCTV. We are working on it, and future if we got the time we'll do more work. Audit of personal income tax. If we see, this is the item as we know as a salaried person and other or individual person can be partnership partner. That means our item is that. So here we know individual for other than female taxpayer, that 65 years of citizen person, they have the separate that means slab also. So this is the point of audit point of view, that at calculation we are calculated previously at the slab also that years also going on, and so budget is no changes here, but one thing only add that third gender, that means CISA, that also included here. Other thing is remain unchanged in the last year. So this is the audit point of view. When we calculated tax, that slab is we are taking in the accurately or not. And when we taking that item, for example, if we declare the senior citizen, so that age should be matched with the birthday of that SSC. For example, it's we are declaring 65 years, but is the 62 or 64 years, so that is not compliance with that that bar. So that also the taking item. Also taking the, if you declare in a freedom fighter, gazetted freedom fighter, but they have the no document submission, that is not in the name in the that means gazetted name, so that would not be possible, so etc. And if we see that our tax purpose is, we know that our 44 under section 44 subsection 2 here residents, non-residents, they allowed for investment tax rebate. So that also the point of view. For example, your life insurance premium, we can take only 10% of the face value for the premium amount. We each and every year we are paying to the insurance company, that our calculation for the rebate, tax rebate item. Also our provident fund and some contribution, our fixed deposit, FDR, and up to 60,000. So if you have money, you can deposit more than 60,000, but we have to calculate only 60,000. So this is the point of view. And if you donate, sometimes with different hospital, Aga Khan Development Network, ICDRB, Shabar CRP, Bangabandhu Memorial Trust Memorial, etc. It is the item for tax rebate. And if we donate another way, another organization, they do not calculate it as a rebate. So that type of item is the tax point of view. That's why authority saying that, for example, if previously it was that every year we can buy a laptop or computer, at computer up to 50,000, laptop up to 1 lakh. So that also misused previously. Each and every SSC of individual SSC, they make a fake voucher, and that voucher putting our return, and every year we are getting the benefit for that item. So that's why last year that removed from that item. So that also the audit point of view. And if authority think that they will contact with the vendors of that company, then will be real picture will become. But at that time, be due to huge volume, that's why DCT or tax authority cannot take that type of survey. But house rent, sometimes we are declaring house rent, so that house rent can be verified by the tax auditor also. So there are some inspector in tax authority, they are physically doing that and going each and every space, and they submit the report. So also the moderation for the SSC. So that is the tax purpose, and we know for the tax audit for a salaried person, who are the salaried person individually, each and every, they do not escape anything because all within the system. So with the return, so what our point of view, we know that our salary under section 81, our house rent property 24, as a salaried person, they have another income can be happen. For example, I am the salaried person, but I have also a house. We are earning money from that income of the house property. So it's also a part of house property income. So that type also I am investing in capital market. So there is another income. So all can be accumulated with that. So that is the audit point of view for individual, and taking the lifestyle statement, everything. And basically DCT what is saying that so when we are submitting the return, for example under section 82 BB self-assessment, so here tax authority saying that what is our what was the last year's total asset and what is the this year total asset. So difference of that amount, they add will this year expenses including tax. So that amount plus this year expenses, that should be equivalent this year income or inflow. So if do not match, then again have to impose tax on that. So this is the back calculation of that, that is last year balance of total asset, net worth, and this year's net worth. So difference in the both last year and this year's, that amount should add with the this year all payment including tax. That tax can be payment for the last year and this year deduction also, that equivalent to the cash inflow of this year, how much money I have received from our income. So this is the back calculation, and process of return by DCT, some reform that is can be return submission under section 82B and examined by the DCT in difference as income arise. If yes, if no, then DCT issue acknowledgement or receipt, it can be happen. But if some difference, disagreement with the DCT calculation, then DCT shall compute the income and that is communicated the same to the assessor. It can be different way. For example, if you calculate tax rebate for the 80,000 for the DPS amount and taking the but we know highest limit is 60,000. So this 20,000s including we are imposing some deducting some tax, that means paying the less tax. To DCT can calculate that we have to pay another tax based on that 20,000 where we are already calculated. So this can be happen. Also can happen previously. Also one thing happened to me also. when I take the taking the laptop, that's 90,000, and that laptop I purchased in the month of July, 2nd July, but I put in last year within the June. So DCT gave me a notice. So you took the rebate for that one, but that date is for the next year. So you have to pay another 10,000 tax. So that I paid another tax. So this can be happen this way. So this DCT can assess the given opportunity, explain the position, and the SSC will give an opportunity to filing revised return. If does the SSC agree with that computation of DCT, then if no, then they can, that means DCT notice, they can pay that amount. So this is the scope of filing. And another thing, how the audit, that means selection of audit, it also under section 82B that the board or NBR call for original return for the amendment return. It is the to the DCT, and DCT shall communicate to the finding the audit to the SSC, and DCT shall send a notice to filing revised return. And does the SSC agree to file the revised return, then they submit it. And disagree, then DCT shall compute the assessment within that 83 and 84. Disagree, revised return duly reflect the findings of the audit that DCT calculated. If no, the DCT shall complete with that and have to pay the tax. And if yes, then accept it, do it. So that can be the process of audit. And filing of revised return by the SSC. This, so you can see this is the flow chart of return submission under 82C. The SSC uncertainty mistake can be returned. Tax has been paid short, unshort, etc. That can be assessed. That can be happen. And if it's short payment, the 2% monthly interest have to pay. And audit selection, we know there are different types of method DCT can commission. That means that can be happen to the DCT can do. They have the power for taking the audit. And also we know there are another item, that means at this moment we have the return submission. That means also withholding tax submission is that for the organization also. For example, most of the organization, they are deducting authority. So if in your organization you are paying the salary to the staff or officer, then you have to deduct the tax on salary. So you are the deducting authority, or your organization is the deducting authority, and withholding tax, you have to submit the return as per the law, also quarterly return. So based on that, they think that, and objective towards audit, there are a lot of objective to make sure the proper submission of return is not report to the etc. So this is the tax authority will understand the verify with the all document. So here we know as per the section 16(1) income tax ordinance 1984 laid down the basics for levying income tax upon person who will pay the tax. The basic framework charging basic framework is underlying is under section 16 subsection 1 is income tax is charged on taxable income for an income year of any person. So this is the this means a framework as per the ITO 1984. Income tax is charged on taxable income for an income year of any person. Tax shall be charged at the rate of or rates prescribed by the Finance Act in every year. That's why every year our budget and every year we are getting the Finance Act, new Finance Act, every year changing or unchanged through the Finance Act. So that Finance Act every year based on that Act shall have to charge. And then another fundamental thing is that tax is chargeable on the income of an income year, not in the income of an assessment year. So tax charge on income year. For example, though we have that was 1st July to 13th June. So this is the income year. And we know the assessment year is the next year. For example, at this moment, what is the income year? Income year is 2020 and 21. And from the 1st July 2021 and 2022, it would be the assessment year for the income year 20 and 21. So income, that is tax chargeable on the income year. And tax is chargeable on the total income on a person computed under the preview of the income tax ordinance. So here is the total income. For example, if I the only salaried person, if only salary is the income, so only salary is our total income. But if we have another income that should include with the total income. So we know there are 7 heads, 7 categories in income, and one person can be earned 7 items. All items can be income from one person, and that should be within the total income. So here tax is chargeable on total income as per the tax ordinance. So here is the some checklist for the auditor. We have to that means different types of checklists, that can be individual, that can be that means for company also. So we have to understand meaning of tax audit, need to tax audit, certain conception issue of the tax audit, existing scenario tax audit in Bangladesh, and focusing our tax system, tax audit practice in Bangladesh, tax audit admit. And so in future in our country, that tax audit may be a good profession also. So this is few news from the newspaper. Already we have seen, and we have to cross-check wealth statement for deducting tax deviation. Also, we have to develop e-tax return filing system with own resource. So this is going to happen. And also audit body join hand, that was the CN store introduce that system, and audit report verification with ICB system made mandatory, and in we are forecast that we start. So this is the tax audit. But here is a audit person or calculation for your homework also. So here what is the problem including here some salaried income of one person. She is a lady serving here. So here her basic salary, that entertainment amount, that servant allowance giving from the organization, traveling allowance and conveyance allowance, furniture allowance, etc. From the organization. And that lady have the house property income also. She has the salaried income, she has the house property income, she has 2 home flat also, they rented, one is Dhanmondi, another Kolabagan. So here is interest income, her FDR interest and other income here, savings certificate income here, and also some agriculture income here. And the home district is Kumilla, so here agriculture income she has, and also some other information here. Look here, so capital gain, dividend income, etc. All information here. Based on that, here requirement as a tax audit, as a tax auditor, based on the above information, calculate total income, individual tax credit, tax liability, etc. You have to calculate. So this math we will calculate in the next class, but it is your homework. I am giving the sheet also just after finishing the class, so you will try it to calculate it.